December 1941. Hitler gets the news. America just joined the war. His generals expect panic, maybe even rage from the Führer himself. But Hitler does something nobody saw coming. He laughs. Then he makes 3 statements. 3 predictions about America. 1 was delusional. 1 was actually smart. And one would haunt Germany until the very end. What did Hitler really say when America entered World War II? The moment. December 11th, 1941. Berlin. Adolf Hitler stands before the Reichstag, Germany's parliament. He's about to declare war on America, 4 days after Pearl Harbor. His generals are nervous. They know what America means. Factories, resources, an ocean of steel and oil. But Hitler? He seems almost happy. He walks to the podium. The room goes silent. Then he says something that shocks everyone listening. I can only be grateful to Providence that it entrusted me with the leadership in this historic struggle. He's thanking God. For America entering the war? The man is smiling, actually smiling. His first prediction comes next, and it reveals just how disconnected from reality he'd become. But before we get to that, you need to understand what Hitler actually believed about America. Hitler's view of America. Hitler thought America was weak, soft. He'd been saying it for years. In his mind, America was a mongrel nation, mixed races, no unity, no warrior spirit like Germany. He saw Americans as obsessed with money and comfort. Hitler believed democracies couldn't fight real wars. They were too divided, too many arguments, too many opinions. Germany was strong, he thought, because one man led him. He also looked at America's army in 1941. It was small, ranked 18th in the world, behind Romania. The U.S. had fewer than 100,000 soldiers ready for combat. So when America declared war, Hitler wasn't scared. He was relieved. He thought it would be easy. That brings us to his first prediction, the delusional one. And it shows just how wrong one man could be. The delusional prediction. Hitler's first claim was simple. America couldn't build an army. Not a real one. Not fast enough. He told his commanders America was too soft to mobilize. Their young men didn't know discipline. They wouldn't sacrifice. How can a country that can't even master its own economy master war? He pointed to the Great Depression. America couldn't even feed its own people. Now they think they can fight Germany? Laughable. Hitler believed it would take years, maybe 5 years, before America could field a serious force in Europe. By then, he'd have won. Russia would fall. Britain would surrender. But here's what happened instead. Within 6 months, America had 3 million men in uniform. Within 2 years, over 11 million. The sleeping giant wasn't just awake, it was sprinting. But Hitler's second prediction, that one was actually smart. The smart prediction. Hitler's second statement caught everyone off guard. He predicted America would struggle with one specific thing: distance. The Atlantic Ocean was 3,000 miles wide. Every bullet, every tank, every soldier had to cross it. Hitler knew Germany's U-boats, their submarines. He believed they could sink supply ships faster than America could build them. Cut the lifeline, starve Britain, stop the invasion before it starts. And you know what? He was almost right. In 1942, German U-boats were destroying Allied ships at an alarming rate. Over 1,000 ships sunk in a single year. The Battle of the Atlantic became the longest continuous military campaign of the war. Britain was running out of food, out of fuel. For a moment, Hitler's prediction looked genius. But America did something nobody expected. something that changed everything. And that leads us to his third prediction, the one that sealed Germany's fate.
The fatal prediction. Hitler's third statement was the most dangerous. He predicted America couldn't outproduce Germany. The American automotive industry cannot be converted to tank production. He actually said that out loud. He believed American factories were too specialized, too civilian. Hitler thought making cars was different from making tanks. And technically, he was right. It is different. But he underestimated American ingenuity completely. Here's what actually happened. Ford didn't just convert factories. They revolutionized production. The Willow Run plant in Michigan produced one B-24 bomber every 63 minutes. By 1944, America was building more planes in a month than Japan built in a year. More tanks than Germany built in total. The numbers were absurd, almost unbelievable. But the real killer wasn't just quantity. It was what America did with that production, a strategy Hitler never saw coming. The industrial avalanche. By 1943, America's production was insane. They weren't just outbuilding Germany, they were drowning them in equipment. Every day, American factories produced 300 fighter planes, 17 tanks, multiple warships, thousands of trucks. Germany couldn't even replace their losses. America was stockpiling. But here's the part Hitler really missed. America wasn't just supplying themselves. They were supplying everyone. Britain, the Soviet Union, Free France. Through the Lend-Lease program, America sent 400,000 trucks to Russia alone. Enough food to feed the Red Army. Enough fuel to drive their tanks all the way to Berlin. Hitler had bet everything on speed. Blitzkrieg. Win fast, before the enemy can mobilize. But America turned war into a marathon, and they had infinite stamina. So what happened when Hitler finally realized his mistake? That moment, that's where the story gets dark. The realization. By 1944, Hitler knew. He knew he was wrong. The Allies had landed in Normandy. 160,000 troops on the first day alone, backed by thousands of ships, complete air superiority. Hitler watched his Atlantic Wall crumble in hours. His generals wanted to negotiate, sue for peace, but Hitler refused. He doubled down instead. He started talking about wonder weapons, secret technology that would turn the tide. The V-2 rockets, jet fighters, projects that existed mostly on paper. He convinced himself Germany could still win, somehow. But deep down he knew America's production had beaten him. In private moments, he raged, blamed his generals, blamed traitors, but never himself, never his predictions. The war dragged on for another year. Millions more died. All because one man couldn't admit he'd underestimated America. But here's the question nobody asks. The lesson. Could Hitler have actually won if he'd understood America? What if he never declared war at all? Some historians say yes. If Germany focused only on Russia, if they never provoked America, maybe the outcome changes. But Hitler's worldview made that impossible. He didn't just misunderstand America's strength. He misunderstood what strength even was. He thought it came from one leader, one vision, total control. America proved the opposite. Strength came from diversity, innovation, millions of people working toward one goal, freely. Hitler's 3 predictions weren't just wrong. They showed why dictatorships always lose in the end. They can't adapt, can't admit mistakes, can't see reality clearly. December 1941, Hitler smiled when America entered the war. By April 1945, he was dead in a bunker. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy isn't the one you fear, it's the one you underestimate. Hitler's December 11, 1941 war declaration exposed his fatal blindness. His speech dismissed American society, quoted racial problems, predicted strategic failure. But his explanation for declaring war revealed deeper delusions about U.S. entry into World War II. His comments on American racial and social problems during World War II became his biggest mistake. This analysis shows how Hitler's opinion about America in World War II cost Germany everything. 1 speech, 3 predictions, total miscalculation. That's what happens when ideology blinds strategy.